This is the GymMaster Cambered Barbell, and it's one of the cheapest cambered barbells you can get in the UK, which either makes it a massive bargain or a red flag. They're popular for people training around injuries, especially the shoulders or the elbows, but they've also become popular with anyone looking to get a deeper stretch or a better range of motion. Basically anyone that's watched Jeff Nippard. Let's start with build quality. Now it gets delivered in 3 parts. You've got the main body and then the 2 sleeves. And that helps bring the shipping cost down because it's a smaller package. But it does mean that this isn't one solid piece of metal. Now the sleeves connect to the main handles by some pretty heavy duty bolts, and overall the welds look quite good on the bar. But because it's not one complete solid piece of metal, this bar is only, well I say only, rated to 300 kilograms. Not that I'll be lifting that anyway. Now weight wise, this is 18 kilos, which is really annoying. Just find a way to make it 20 so it's the same as every other barbell. But it does feel pretty sturdy enough. But I will be honest, when you get this out of the box, the main thing that you'll notice is the powder coat feels quite cheap, especially if you've got other premium pieces of equipment in the gym. And it's the same powder coat that GymMaster have used on some of their other products, so I've got some of their roller J-cups as well. That said, I've used this bar at least twice a week for about a year now, and there's almost no damage or scratches to this bar. So to be fair, the powder coat has held up pretty well. So whilst it may look and feel a little bit basic, performance-wise, it does the job. Now I use this bar mainly on bench press and rows, and on bench press the stretch feels amazing and it feels a lot kinder on my shoulders. Now if you're over 30 and you've trained for at least a year, I can guarantee you've got at least one dodgy shoulder. And I didn't bench press for about 3 years before buying this bar because of the shoulder pain, and this bar has helped reintroduce it. I can't load as much weight on this versus an Olympic barbell, and when you unrack it, it can feel a little bit wobbly and unstable, but once you've loaded it and you're locked in, it's not too bad. It also feels great on rows because you've got the different handle widths and you can get the bar really tight into the chest. Now if you're a really heavy row lifter, this is where you might miss the knurling, so you might want to use Versa grips or straps if you're going heavy. Some people use this bar for tricep extensions or skull crushers, and it feels fine, but it's not the most natural because you've got the instability in the handles. But then the bar is so wide, it can feel a bit cumbersome as well, so I don't tend to bother. So on to the more interesting things, and this is the question that I had before buying it, and the question I've seen most when I've looked at this online. There's no knurling on these handles. Is that a problem? For me, not massively, at least it wasn't at first. I did end up adding some knurling tape or grip tape from Amazon, which was a cheap workaround, and it makes the bar feel just a little bit safer in the hands. Now I won't lie, the lack of knurling does remind you every time you pick it up that this isn't a premium barbell. Now does it affect performance? Not really, but we're home gym people, we like knurling. If you use something like Versa grips or straps, then it might not necessarily affect you, but if you raw grip everything, then you might miss some more aggressive knurling. Now the sleeves are longer than you might expect. Now that is a little bit of a double-edged sword because on one hand, if you're using bumper plates like I am, you can get quite a lot of weight on the bar. But then the kind of movements that you'll be working with for this bar, rows or bench, you're unlikely to max it out at 300 kilos anyway. Now on the downside, it makes this bar 220 centimeters long, which is the same as an Olympic barbell. But in the space of a normal UK garage or shed gym, and then the width of the handles, the bar can feel really cumbersome and moving it around this place can be quite difficult. So personally, I would love to see shorter sleeves just for practicality. Oh, and they don't spin by the way, so there's no bushings or bearings, it's just a hollow tube. At £75 to £90 depending on the discounts that they've got on offer at the time, this bar sits well below some of the premium products in this category like the Kabuki Cadillac bar or the Rogue weird named one, which are £300 or £400. And I can't imagine that those bars that are 5 or 6 times the cost are going to offer much more performance-wise than this one. So if this is your first specialty bar or first camber bar, I don't really think that you can go wrong with this. Now, I will be upgrading this bar. And despite all of the positives with this bar, the lack of knurling, kind of the cheaper powder coat on it, and then the overall length of this thing have started to bother me the more that I use it. And when you can compare this bar not to the super premium versions like the Kabuki Cadillac, but compared to ATX or the Bells of Steel Arch Nemesis bar, Both of those have knurling, and both of those are almost 20 centimeters shorter than this bar, which in a small UK home gym can actually make quite a big difference. So if you're looking to buy this bar, I'm going to leave you with 3 questions. Is knurling important to you? Do you have a small home gym where space might be a premium? And how much do things like the powder coat bother you? If they do, and if you answer yes to all of those 3 questions, this probably isn't the bar for you. But if you don't care about those things, then this is going to give you everything you need from a performance perspective. So let me know if you've got any other questions on this bar in the comments, or if you have this bar, let me know what your experience has been like down below. And if you want more reviews like this, then check out my Mirafit review up here.